What's up, guys? It's your boy, Flannel Guy MMA. We're coming at you with some UFC 297 picks. Now, I did a lot of research for this video. I watched a lot of fights. I hope you take my picks into consideration because I did a lot of research for you guys. All right? So starting off, we're doing main card picks only. I didn't have enough time to go through the prelims, the early prelims, all that jazz. We're doing main card only, all right? So we're starting off with the first fight of the evening. Arnold Allen versus Movsar Evloev. Movsar Evloev. I'm sorry, I sound like Joe Rogan. But I think Arnold Allen's going to win. I think Arnold Allen is going to finish him. I think he's going to get a TKO, possibly a KO. But I'm thinking stoppage round 2 or 3. All right. We've seen two things. We've seen one thing from each of these fighters, two things in total. But we've seen that Evloev is a little overrated. All right. You know, a lot of people are hyping this guy up like he's the next coming of, sliced bread, like he's the best thing to ever happen in the featherweight division. Now, honestly, I don't agree. All right. I've watched this guy fight a couple times now. And truthfully, I think he's overrated. All right. We saw what he did to fighters like Dan Ige. And it's a good win. Dan Ige is a good fighter. He's definitely, hovering around that top 10 to top 15 ranking in the featherweight division. But Dan Ige is, kind of a one-dimensional fighter. He's a back-and-forth fighter. He's a plant, stand, swing type of fighter. And that's the type of fighter that Evloev looks amazing against. That's the type of fighter that Evloev can take down, control. And Arnold Allen is the exact opposite of front and back. Arnold Allen is a very lateral, side-to-side mover. He's a very slick and mischievous striker when he's in the octagon. And I know that people think that, Arnold Allen got, fraud-checked against Max Holloway. But let's be real. If Volk didn't exist, Max Holloway would have been running featherweight for, like 7 years now. But Volk does exist, and Holloway's clearly the number 2 guy. So for Arnold Allen to take 2 rounds off of Max Holloway, rounds 2 and 5, for him to take 2 rounds off Max Holloway, that's pretty impressive. It was a pretty big step up for Arnold Allen in competition, and he really didn't disappoint. Michael Bisping during the fight was acting like Max Holloway is the second coming of Jesus Christ and was just dismantling Arnold Allen in every exchange, and that's not true. That's just not true. Michael Bisping is a very biased commentator, and Arnold Allen held his own very well against Max Holloway. I would love to see a rematch between these two guys, but right now, I think Arnold Allen is Evloev's kryptonite. Lateral, side-to-side mover. He has powerful punches in his hand. And let's not forget, Arnold Allen can sprawl. I'm pretty sure Arnold Allen has not been taken down in the UFC. I could be incorrect with that statement, but I'm pretty sure he has 100% takedown defense. If I'm wrong, you can roast me in the comments, but his takedown defense is insane. He's a great sprawler. He's great at managing distance. Arnold Allen is probably the most underrated fighter in the 145 division. And I think that Arnold Allen gets past Evloev. Arnold Allen gets one more really good win, maybe against Yair, Ortega, even like a Josh Emmett. Arnold Allen could be fighting for the title this year or possibly early next year. So yes, I do think Arnold Allen is going to win this fight. I think that we're going to see that Evloev is a bit overrated. We're going to see Arnold Allen is a bit underrated. So my final pick is Arnold Allen. So the next fight on the main card is Chris Curtis versus Marc Andre. I don't know how to say his last name. I apologize. But Chris Curtis versus Marc Andre. This is going to be a very stand, swing, and bang type of fight, which we all need. We need one of those fights in every pay-per-view, every main event. We all agree we need at least one of those fights on every pay-per-view. Just 2 dudes who are going into the octagon to swing and swing to knock a dude out. There's nothing wrong with that, purely for entertainment. This isn't really a heavy needle-moving fight for, the middleweight division. And I am going to take Chris Curtis on this one. I think Chris Curtis has a stronger resume. I think that Chris Curtis is, better in the dirty boxing. I think Chris Curtis is better at, nutting up and shutting up and just putting his head down, biting down on the mouthpiece and swinging and going all out. I haven't seen a ton from Marc Andre, but what I have seen, he's an average fighter. He looks okay. This is probably the fight that I know the least about these two guys, personally. But I do think that Chris Curtis is going to take this one. I think Chris Curtis is going to outbox him. I think Chris Curtis is going to get a finish. Maybe round 2 or 3. I know I said round 2 or 3 for the previous fight, but I think round 2 or 3, Chris Curtis is going to get a finish. He's just going to outbox him. He's going to outgrit him. And, he's going to get, another win. On to the third fight on the main event. We have Neil Magny versus Mike Mallet. And I'm honestly really interested in this fight because, Neil Magny is basically the 170 ranked gatekeeper. He's been that for a couple of years now. He is the definition of the ranked gatekeeper. If you can get past Neil Magny, you could probably hold your own on the rankings. So Mike Mallet has a lot to prove here. I personally don't think he's going to get fraud checked. I think that, he's probably, I don't want to say run through Neil Magny, but I think he's going to get a pretty decisive win, a pretty, convincing win. This could go to a decision, but I could also see Mike Mallet taking him down and submitting him in the first or second round. I think that, Mike Mallet has a lot to prove. His last win was very impressive. I think he's going to come out, he's going to, go for a takedown, show Neil Magny up on the feet, what he can do. And he's going to break those legs up just like Ian Gary did. If Mike Mallet can land, 2, 3, even 4 powerful leg kicks, powerful calf kicks, I think, we're going to see Neil Magny crumble. He's going to have that wince on his face again. He's going to be hopping around on one leg. And I think the difference between Mike Mallet and Ian Gary is, Ian Gary wanted to punish Neil Magny in the octagon. I think Mike Mallet's just going to go for a finish. I think he's going to work the legs. He's going to destroy those legs. And as soon as he realizes that Neil Magny's compromised, I think he's going to shoot a takedown. I think he's going to take him to the ground and submit him. Now, obviously, Neil Magny is no slouch. He has the most wins in welterweight ever, but he's not, this extraordinary fighter. There's a reason they call him the gatekeeper of the rankings at 170. So I think Mike Mallet's going to go out there. He's going to work the leg kicks. He's going to destroy those legs, and he's going to take him down and finish him. Raquel Pennington versus Mayra Bueno Silva. Y'all are going to hate me, but I honestly have no idea who these two ladies are. You can call me biased, you can call me sexist, you can say I hate women's MMA all you want. I really don't know who these two ladies are. I don't think that they deserve to be the co-main event of this pay-per-view. Just being honest, really. I think this could have headlined a fight night, maybe been, a third fight and put another better fight above this, but I don't think this should be the co-main event of the evening. With all that being said, I think that Bueno Silva is going to win this fight. That's really it. All right, so the main event of the evening, the moment you've all been waiting for, the pick that's going to set middleweight forever. My pick's going to affect middleweight for years to come. I know this. My heart says Sean. My mind says Dricus. And I'm going to pick Dricus, guys. I would like Sean Strickland to win. I think that it would be incredible if he, he had that incredible defensive victory against Izzy. I think it would be incredible if he ran the 185 division for a couple of years, racks up 4 or 5 title defenses, even gets in contention of like, oh my God, is he better than Izzy? Like, look, all these title defenses he's getting. I think that would be incredible for Sean. But if we're just looking at the facts of the matter, the data that we have, I think that Dricus is a pretty good counter to Sean's fighting style. We've seen in the UFC that, Sean has great cardio. Sean can go for 5 rounds, but Sean fights off the back foot. Sean is kind of a counter striker like Izzy, but unlike Izzy, once Sean opens you up, he unloads on you. Izzy's working the calf kick, Izzy's working the body kick, the leg kicks. He's a counter puncher. He goes for TKOs. He goes for that, even though in reality, he just has boring decisions. Sean, on the other hand, Sean can finish people. Sean can overwhelm people. Sean has good pressure when he wants to put the pressure on. But, Sean fights in that Philly shell style, that very defensive-minded style, puts his arms out in front of him, makes sure to block punches, create space. And we've seen that when Sean does that, he, puts his hands in front of his face, he expects the combo to end. And he's been caught many times where dudes keep following up with punches, dudes keep getting in his face, pressuring him. We saw this with Alex Pereira. We saw this with Jared Cannonier. We saw this with Usman way back. So if Dricus is a very on the front foot type of fighter. So if Dricus is going to fight how we know he fights, I think that Dricus is just going to counter Sean and overwhelm him. The thing that I do love about this fight is these are the 2 best guys at the middleweight division. These are the guys who should be fighting. So it's very awesome to see. This isn't, I don't think there's any shoehorns in here. There's nothing like that. Sean versus Dricus, it's the fight to make. Dricus deserves this opportunity. Sean's obviously the champ. First title defense is a pretty monumental one. We all doubted Dricus. Don't lie. Don't lie and say that you knew Dricus was going to be here. Don't lie and say that. We all doubted Dricus in the beginning. We saw his performance against Darren Till, the round 2 where he's kind of getting pieced up. We saw the weird performance with Derek Brunson. We all thought that Robert Whittaker was going to dismantle this man, and he TKOs him in round 2, barely absorbs any damage, walks out of there unscathed. Biggest fight of his career. He did not crumble under pressure. He did not wilt. He did not look bad. He looked really good against Robert Whittaker. Yeah, he got taken down, but he took down Robert Whittaker, and that's a very hard thing in the UFC to do. So Dricus got past Robert Whittaker. He deserves to be here. And don't act in the comments like, oh, Dricus doesn't deserve to be here. Dricus is overrated, this, that, and everything. Dricus is not overrated, okay? He has good cardio. He's very powerful in the hands. He's an offensive fighter. He goes forward, and he can grapple. People like to look at the Tavares fight where he just dropped the dude on top of him, but since then he's made up for that. He can grapple. Go back and watch that Derek Brunson fight. Go back and watch the Robert Whittaker fight. Even the Darren Till fight. Darren Till doesn't have any wrestling, but he was still throwing Darren Till around in there. So I think with the way that Sean fights and with the way that Dricus fights, I think that Dricus is set up more for success in this matchup than Sean. And let's not forget, Sean's kind of having some mental breakdowns here and there the last 2 weeks. So Sean may not be in the right headspace right now going into this fight. If anyone is clearly not in the right headspace, it's Sean Strickland right now. So my final pick is Dricus. Come back to this video, watch me go 5 for 5. Share this video with your friends because I'm going 5 for 5, baby. Thank you guys for watching the video. These UFC 297 picks, guarantee you they're going to hit. Have faith in me, all right? Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you stuck around to the end. And drop a like, subscribe, all that stuff. And I'll see you in the next one.